Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an exciting Sunday edition of Jake's Hot Takes. I'm your host, Jake McVey.
And I am Matthew Galgano, and we are going to be talking sports today.
Yes, we're talking ball.
Ball.
So I have recovered pretty well from the crushing defeat and the subsequent shame that I felt last episode.
Yep.
I am feeling much better about the situation now, and I want to talk hypotheticals with you, Matt. Bring out your Justin Herbert jersey.
All right,
we're talking
hypotheticals. I'll think about that one.
Do you think we will ever see an NFL team complete the three-peat now that Kansas City has failed?
No, I really don't. And, it's just too hard. And what a team really needs to three-peat is S-tier management, which I would say Kansas City has had over the past 3 years. I'd say even with the low draft picks they've had, they've still been able to get really good players. They deal with the turnover pretty well, and they've just pretty much been probably like the luckiest team in NFL history.
I can agree with that.
And luck is the number one thing you need to win a three-peat, and it didn't happen for them, so I don't think it will ever happen. But they proved it's possible.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that this season actually opens the door to the possibility of a three-peat. Like, the door is open. Kansas City was one game away, Kansas City was one really bad performance away from completing three in a row. I think it's perfectly possible for a team to complete three in a row. As a matter of fact, I think it wouldn't even surprise me if we saw a team do it in the next 15 years.
I just don't think so. It's too much. I think even now people are talking about, the Eagles are going to go back to back, and we're going to talk about them having a three-peat season.
No, that's just not going to. I just don't see that happening.
I don't see it happening either. Even though they are a very talented team, I just don't think it's going to happen. I just think the NFL, the last professional team to do a three-peat in American sports was the 2002 Lakers with Shaq and Kobe, 2001, 2002. But that's the thing about NFL versus a league like the NBA is that the NFL is a one-game series rather than a seven-game series. A seven-game series in the NBA, the better team always wins, right? Basically, but in the NFL, there's plenty of opportunities. You have one bad game, it's over. Your seasons are over. Your chance for a three-peat is over. Yeah,
but by that same virtue, an NFL team needs to win significantly less games in a row in order to complete the three-peat, All in NFL, the NBA teams, they need to win, sometimes a maximum of 28 games in order to secure a championship just for one season. The NFL, you're going to have at most 3 games in the postseason and then the Super Bowl. All you got to do is do that 3 times, and it's a comparison of 72 games to the NFL's 12 games. That would be the absolute maximum requirement. Not to mention first round buys, eliminating the potential for first round exits and things like that. I don't necessarily know if it will be the Chiefs, but it wouldn't surprise me if the next big NFL dynasty actually did manage to three-peat. I think the way that free agency is going right now, free agents are flocking to contending teams. And I'm not saying they're building super teams, but I am saying that contending or really great players at their position are coming in and making teams significantly better. Take a look at Saquon. Take a look at how Myles Garrett is going to be on the move soon. We've heard some rumors about other big stars potentially being traded during the offseason. The guys are moving around more now than they ever have. So I think the parity in the NFL is actually going to go down a little bit, where we're going to see a very clear-cut line between the top teams and the bottom teams. And it wouldn't surprise me if one of those top teams did manage to complete the impossible.
Yeah, but the thing about it is you just have to be perfect, and it's so hard to be perfect. You need so much luck. You even look at the aforementioned 2002 Lakers. In 2001 and 2002, that Lakers team in the finals lost game 1, and in the NFL, that would have been the end of their three-peat journey,
Yeah, but, the NFL, as it doesn't have a lot of room for error, but not having room for error means that if you do successfully do it, you don't have to, like I said earlier, you don't have to go through many teams in order to complete that three-peat. And just the way that a team like Philadelphia, honestly, you can call me crazy, but I wouldn't even really be surprised if the Eagles end up winning the championship again next year. It's not
I definitely wouldn't.
It's not like they have an absurd amount of free agents that are super essential to the team that are going to be leaving this offseason. I mean, this Eagles team, their offensive and defensive coordinators haven't gotten poached yet, I don't think, have they?
No, but Kellen Moore got poached by the Saints.
Well,
but, the thing about a three-peat in any situation is health. Health is the biggest luck factor in anything.
For sure.
And that's what makes it so hard for an NFL franchise. I mean, look at the Lions. I would say the Lions probably have right next to the Eagles and how much talent they have on their roster, but their health was awful and they had so many devastating injuries this season to their team.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, but hey, man, the team will come around at some point, I'm sure. This Kansas City team, they were supposed to be the ones to get it done. They didn't. I don't think that them getting one game away from the three-peat and then losing proves once and for all that it is impossible. I think in the future, we are going to be seeing NFL teams manage a three-peat because one of the cures to the problems you were talking about, player safety is getting so much better in the NFL. Equipment is designed to allow guys' bodies to be pushed to different limits. Injuries in the NFL, at least on the scale of like the Lions or the 49ers this year, hopefully, the hope is we're not going to see rosters take that many injuries because hopefully the NFL is taking steps in order to protect their players and increase their longevity and not replace any of the turf fields because, wearing big, goofy Guardian caps is much more important to player safety than keeping them on grass fields. We can always just have the turf, It doesn't matter. Yeah. It's the turf. Speaking of turf, MetLife Stadium.
Yes, what happened at MetLife?
Absolutely disgusting place.
It is disgusting. I've been there.
Yeah, how did you like Met? Give us a little review of MetLife in your time there.
It was fine. The food was okay. It was I don't know. It was too cold. It was the thing. It was just kind of like cold and smelly. I don't know. There was a guy behind me that threw up on my shoulder, but that was about it. Yeah.
And you might have actually seen Aaron Rodgers' last professional football game.
Yeah, I might have seen Aaron Rodgers' last professional football game because the Jets told him today that they are going to cut him after the June 1st deadline.
Yeah. What do you think of that for the Jets?
Well, for the Jets, it means that they're either going to draft a quarterback in this draft or they're just going to rely on one of their... They drafted Jordan Travis last year in like the 4th round, and they might let him start a little bit.
Oh, so they're going for we'll just start the rookie that we drafted late in the draft 2 years ago. We'll be fine. I think that the Jets' decision to cut Aaron Rodgers and not have any ambiguity, I think pretty much signifies that the entire Rodgers regime that we've seen come into power in New York is going to dissipate very quickly.
Oh, yeah. I don't think Devontae is there.
If Devontae's on the move, don't be surprised if Nathaniel Hackett goes on the move. Don't be surprised if Allen Lazard goes on the move. Personally, I don't care if Allen Lazard goes on the move, but don't be surprised if he does. Allen Lazard fans expect to have to buy a New Jersey soon.
I do not think that he's going to be that any of the Rodgers regime is going to be there.
Another thing is, I think Garrett Wilson is on the move this offseason.
No, I really don't think so. If Devontae isn't there, I don't think they're willing to trade him.
I think Garrett wants out.
Well, yeah, of course he wants out because it's the Jets, but I don't know. I don't think the Jets want to trade him yet. We'll see what they do in the draft, but I think Aaron Rodgers, if he doesn't go to the retirement home, he's either going to the Giants or the Vikings, I think. I think the Vikings would actually be a pretty solid fit for Aaron.
Really?
Yeah, I really do.
Why the Vikings?
Because they didn't sign. They didn't re-sign Darnold, and I don't think they're going to because they're either. I think Aaron Rodgers, if he doesn't play well, then they can just bench him for JJ McCarthy.
Start JJ.
And I don't think JJ is really ready to start yet. He had 2 knee surgeries during the season this year, and I feel like Rodgers could be a good 1-year deal for them. See where he takes them. I mean, they have a good offensive line. They have Justin Jefferson, better play calling than the Jets had ever with Kevin O'Connell.
Are you saying Rodgers to the Vikings because you want Aaron Rodgers to complete like the Brett Favre saga?
But it also makes sense, and the opportunity is there.
I mean, honestly, Atlanta also doesn't seem like an awful landing place. If they weren't all tied up with Kirk, I think that team might
they're cutting Kirk. They said they're already going to cut Kirk.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah,
Kirk's on the
Kirk
move,
is
too.
gone.
Kirk's going straight to the retirement home.
Yeah, he has
buddy's
to
got to hang it up already.
He's like
he looked even worse than
Peyton
Rodgers
Manning
this year.
Yeah, he was pretty bad. But the Falcons are committing to Penix full time.
And honestly, I think they should. They don't need an older guy to come in now, but... No, I think that's an interesting pick. I actually like that. It gives them a cheap 1-year experienced locker room guy. And if he's not performing well, just let JJ go at it. Just give him a shot.
Or he can just sign with the Giants and then just stay in the same building.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to move then.
Yeah.
He bought a house in New Jersey after all.
It would just be convenient. And, you know, it's funny that you said Rodgers to the Vikings because I was actually, when I was thinking about the potential quarterbacks on the free agency market that could replace Rodgers, Sam Darnold was one of the first guys that jumped into my mind. We could bring Sam. The Jets might bring Sam Darnold home this offseason.
I don't think Sam would ever do that.
It's a homecoming for Sammy. Jameis Winston, if he doesn't get hired by Fox to do some reporting, and Daniel Jones is also another real possibility that I see for the Jets.
Is a free agent, so I guess that could also happen, but. The Jets they need to draft a young guy.
Which one of these 3 quarterbacks, Jameis, Danny, and Sam Darnold, would you like to see playing in Jets green the most?
Jameis, without a doubt.
Oh yeah,
I think he could actually provide a spark to this offense.
No, Jameis and Garrett Wilson would actually be fireworks.
Yeah,
they would have fireworks in MetLife for the first time since the Giants won the Super Bowl in.
I mean, Jameis made Jerry Jeudy look like a top 3 receiver. So
yeah, and he almost was this season.
Yeah, he almost was.
But he fell just short. There are a few big name guys that you just got to pay your respects to.
Yeah.
Jeudy had a great season, but
yes.
No, the thing with the Jets is that they should be ashamed of themselves for this whole situation.
Oh, it's an absolute disaster. It just has not materialized in any way that they hoped it would. It pretty much went the worst way it possibly could.
And not only did it not materialize, it set the franchise back a good, probably 6 or 7 years in terms of where, at the very least, the Jets' offense was terrible before Rodgers got there, but at the very least, they had a really good defense that would keep them in games and make them competitive. And now the defense looks terrible too, and the offense looks terrible. And Rodgers is on the move, and Adams is gone, and Lazard is gone, and Hackett is gone, and Woody Johnson needs to sell the team, and it's all terrible in New York right now.
And then they fired Robert Saleh mid-season last year.
I forgot about that.
I was like, what are they doing? And they did just hire Aaron Glenn, who probably will be a better coach than Robert Saleh was.
Yeah, I got faith in Aaron Glenn, but I'm not sure he's what that team needs right now.
At least for a defensive identity.
Yeah. They could have just kept Saleh, though, if you ask me.
No, I don't think Saleh was really a needle mover for them, but firing him mid-season was just a terrible decision. The Jets, this situation just went how it would go for the Jets. There was really no other way for it to go. So
the Jets went and jetted it up.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
Well, I think realistically, I know that we said that Jameis would be the most fun guy to come back to New York. But realistically, I do think it is going to be Daniel Jones.
You think so?
Or, there might be a sleeper floating around. They might go out and get Desmond Ridder or maybe
Joe Flacco. In return.
Maybe, who knows? Maybe they could go pick up Kirk since they're in the mood to give old injured quarterbacks terrible deals.
I don't think Kirk is I don't think Kirk is going to go there. I think Kirk is retiring.
I think Kirk needs to retire.
He's going to take his $140 million bag from Atlanta and just to retire.
Probably go kick it on the
That's
beach
what
or
I
something.
would do.
He deserves
I mean,
it. He deserves
wow.
it. So you think Rodgers is retiring after this too?
I think it's more likely than him signing with a new team. Honestly,
Yeah,
I think
I
Rodgers
agree.
is done.
But when we get back, we are talking about James Cook. So make sure you stay tuned for that. You know I love my James Cook talks. Stay tuned.
Thinking about remodeling your kitchen or bath? Wayne's Way Wholesale Cabinets has a great selection of all wood cabinets in the styles and colors to make your remodeling dreams come to life. Go to wayneswaycabinets.com for more info. Wayne's Way Cabinets, 1829 South Road, Wappingers Falls. Call 845-280-0880. Stop by and talk to Wayne today. You'll be glad you did. CDS Auto and Truck Repair is your 5-star one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs from A to Z, offering full vehicle diagnostics. Towing is available, and they now offer fleet service. CDS Auto and Truck Repair. Call 845-563-9987. That's 845-563-9987. CDS Auto and Truck Repair, 2917 Route 9W, New Windsor.
Herring Septic wants your crap. Herring Septic loves taking crap from everybody. Herring Septic, they really don't give a crap what other septic companies say because they know they're full of crap. Herring Septic has been taking crap from everybody for the past 50 years. So why not let them take your crap? We'll take your crap. Herring Septic does it all, from residential, commercial, pumping, installing, and they even rent porta potties for those of you who give a crap. Visit herringseptic.com. That's herringseptic.com if you give a crap.
The Roma Deli, 237 Myers Corners Road, Wappingers Falls, is your neighborhood family-owned and operated deli, offering breakfast, lunch, and catering options. The Roma Deli has brought a little piece of the Bronx to Wappingers, including fresh-made sandwiches, Italian specialties, and desserts, all prepared and cooked in-house with authentic Italian ingredients. Their large menu provides lots of options to personalize your order to your taste. Vegan and vegetarian options available. The Roma Deli, offering catering that is perfect for any party or business function. Go to romadeli1.com or call 845-297-1200.
Michael's Appliances presents Ask Andy, the appliance expert. Andy, we've been talking about suds left over in the wash. What else should we know?
Soap companies do a great job of taking a wild guess at it, and they do a better job at marketing their product to make money. That's what they're doing. They'll tell you that liquids are better than powders. Liquids are much cheaper for them to produce and ship because they can ship it concentrated, cut it with water at the final mile before they deliver it to the store. And it almost guarantees that you're going to over-soap. Most people don't realize this. It's real simple. Clean doesn't smell. If you put detergent in your washing machine and you wash your clothes, and when you're done and you pull them out of your washer, and you take a handful of that clothing and put it up to your nose and take a sniff, if it smells boutique fresh or whatever lavender scent that they put in the detergent, it's because there's still detergent in your clothing.
Shop with the experts. Nobody knows appliances like Michael's Appliance Center, 585 East Main Street, Middletown. Online at michaelsappliance.com.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Jake's Hot Takes. We're going to jump right into it here because are you following James Cook on Instagram, Matt?
No, but what did he say?
Big
I know you were
mistake.
talking about
Big
that.
mistake.
I don't know what he said.
Go follow James Cook on Instagram right now. I hopped on James Cook's Instagram Live the other night, and I was shocked at what I saw. He had a pinned comment demanding $15 million a year from the Buffalo Bills. I'm guessing probably he's looking for a contract in the range of 3 to 4 years, $15 million. Although he did not confirm how long he wanted to be signed for in the contract. But that's just what I'm assuming. Probably a 3-year, $15 million deal. What do we think?
I think he's absolutely worth it. I mean, he's probably the second best player, and obviously next to Josh Allen. But other than Josh Allen, he's their best player on offense, at least at a skill position, not offensive line.
Okay, but if he gets paid that much money, that makes him the second highest paid running back in the entire NFL behind Christian McCaffrey. That means he gets more than Henry. That means he gets more than Saquon.
He's not making more than Saquon with that, is he?
I think he would be, yeah.
You think he would be? Well, other than that, I think the Saquon being as good as he was this year, being a free agent running back, is going to change the market a little bit. So I think the Bills would actually be pretty smart getting ahead of the curve and paying a good running back while they can, because I'm sure there's other teams that would pay a lot more for Cook.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, the Packers could come out tomorrow and, pay Josh Jacobs $20 million a year.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, James Cook says, I'm better than Josh Jacobs. I got to get paid $21 million a year or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. It seems high, but do you really think that we're going to be seeing this big of a shift in the running back market where it's like everyone is going to be getting their hands on their decent running backs and then paying the heck out of them?
I think the impact that both Saquon and Derrick Henry had is going to change how people view running backs. Not just in the actual production, but how much having a good running back changes how a defense plays your team.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, running backs kind of are the key to efficient football,
Yeah.
They allow for clock control. They allow for controlling the tempo of the game. They allow for game speed. A lot of the more underrated things that, like, the casual fan wouldn't necessarily think of when they see the value of a running back,
Like, what I think about is really, even though he didn't have that good of a game in the Super Bowl, I would say Saquon really was the difference maker for that Philadelphia team.
Absolutely.
Compared to the Super Bowl team that they had 2 years ago.
Absolutely.
Like,
I completely agree with that.
Steve Spagnuolo had to game plan pretty much exclusively for Saquon and basically pray that the rest of the Philadelphia offense wouldn't click and that his defensive backs would play well. And what it comes out to is that they resulted so much to Saquon that the rest of that happened.
Yeah, they did a heck of a good job containing Saquon, though.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was the one little piece of joy that I got watching that game. Was just, I was like, wow, that run defense is really great.
It was all facade, though. It was all facade to get other people open, and which is what the impact that the running back has, especially a good running back like James Cook.
Yeah, but I don't know if James Cook is second highest paid back in the league.
Yeah, but teams are going to be paying a lot more for running backs soon, so I would get ahead of the curve. He's asking for 15 mil. I doubt he'll get 15 mil.
Yeah,
but whatever, they should definitely work something out to pay him when they can.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Buffalo, James Cook is definitely a guy that I would like to lock up as soon 100%. As possible. But I just don't think he's worth $15 million a year. I'm gonna say it. I know I spent the entirety of the short time that we've been doing this singing the praises of James Cook, how I think he's such a talented and skilled player, and how I think he's so important for the Buffalo offense. But I don't think he's that important. I think what James Cook does, you could probably get out of a decent first-round rookie running back,
You think so?
And that's the thing, is I don't know if James Cook does enough better than the average running back to warrant that kind of payment. Saquon plays at an absurdly high rate compared to his contemporaries, as does Derrick Henry, which I think warrants the huge paychecks they get. And Christian McCaffrey, when he got paid, could also be categorized in that group of guys that just were next level compared to the guys playing alongside them. When you think of players that are really next level compared to their contemporaries, does your head immediately spring to James Cook?
I don't think James Cook is really that close to Henry, Saquon, or McCaffrey right now, but I think he's definitely a top 5 back in the league. I mean, there's definitely a gap between the top 3 and then the rest of the running backs in the league.
Well, top 2. I don't put Christian McCaffrey on that level anymore.
When healthy, he will be.
When healthy. That's the important
He'll be back
part.
Next year. I'm pretty confident he
Christian
will be.
Christian McCaffrey is the Justin Herbert of hypothetical success.
I mean, whatever. But I think... I think he will be there. I think the Bills will pay him a contract, at least like a 3-year contract is what they should pay him. Nothing too mind-blowing,
Yeah. No, I agree. I think I'm thinking probably James Cook more in the range of 11 to 12 million, but that's just me personally.
And James Cook also had a really good playoffs.
Yeah, he did have a good playoff.
He had a good playoff.
So,
he had
you know
120 rushing yards and 1 touchdown versus the Broncos, and also 85 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So pretty good postseason.
He did play phenomenally this postseason. But
Yeah.
we're going to pivot real quick to the NBA. Oh, bet you guys forgot that we talk about basketball, right?
Yes.
All this excitement with the Super Bowl. So, Matt, we are beyond the trade deadline now. No more big surprises in terms of who's going where. And we're at a certain point in the season now where it's time to start thinking about who you have winning the whole shebang.
Oh, winning the whole thing.
The whole thing. All the way.
Well, I have the Oklahoma City Thunder winning the whole thing.
Basic.
They're just the best team right now. I mean, they're playing fantastic.
The thing about the Thunder is that as good as they are and as good as their roster is, like the depth that they have, as good as they're very top heavy with the guys that they got, SGA, Chet, J-Dub, their roster guy, their bench guys are also really good. The thing about that though is they are young.
They are very young, but they're still this good, you know?
But this Thunder team has no idea what it's like to play in a meaningful playoff environment yet. They're just not, they haven't quite broken the barrier that a more experienced team like, the Bucks or the Nuggets have no problem getting through, That's why I think when you're looking at the best team in the NBA right now, maybe not even the best team, but when you look at the team that has the best shot at winning the chip right now, it's a team that has a lot of championship experience. I'm taking the Lakers, baby.
Really? I think
this Luka trade is going to change the Lakers forever.
Really?
Because not only do I think they're going all the way this year, I think King James is finally getting his 5th, putting all GOAT debate to rest. I think Luka's getting his first, and I think LeBron probably retires a champion, and then Luka takes the reins from here. This team is fun, and I understand that they do have a glaring issue, but sometimes being fun can patch up your glaring issues.
I mean, it did happen. That did happen with the 2022-2023 Heat. But the thing is that this West is just so crazy this year, full of talent. I mean, you're going to have to get through Jokic and the Nuggets or the Thunder.
Yeah. The up-and-coming Houston Rockets. That team is dangerous. That team is frisky. Not someone I'd want to see in the first round.
Definitely not. But I just don't think the Lakers have not the offensive power because Luka, well, he's still finding his footing right now. He'll definitely find it. But the defense to really hang in with those teams.
No, I understand that there is a concern for defense. But at the same time, does it really matter when you can score 1,000 points in a game?
Well, will that really be a thing?
I think that this Lakers team actually does have the capacity to significantly outscore their opponents. I mean, you got Luka, who's just an absurd scorer. I mean, the lengths that this guy... I'm actually going to look up Luka's accomplishments right now. Matt, say something interesting about the Thunder while I'm looking at this.
Well, the Thunder, they're just such a young team, and they're 44-9 right now. They've pretty much done nothing but win this year without Chet Holmgren most of the time. So while he's been injured, they've still been great, and he's came back, but he's still day-to-day. He's not playing every single game. But when he comes back, they'll have their big guy who can score for them. They're just looking so great right now, and the Thunder's future is also looking great. So
all right.
I think that's my argument for the Thunder.
We've all heard of the Thunder. Let's get straight to Luka. Because Luka's career so far at 25 years old is absurd. He's 5 times All-NBA, and he got the scoring champion. He was the scoring champion last year. This is a guy who is coming off a season so hot where he was right there. And this is a Lakers team that I think is trying to cross the finish line one more time before they blow it up. It really is kind of a match made in heaven where you have this young superstar who's ready to do anything it takes to get that chip locked down, and you have a team that knows, yeah, we're kind of getting to the end, but we can still compete. And I just think that, I think the only threat, well, there's a lot of threats, but I think the biggest threat right now for the Lakers is just the Nuggets, because the Nuggets have just been that wall that the Lakers haven't been able to get past.
Yeah, they've been pretty dominant of them recently.
Death, taxes, and the Nuggets are going to dominate the Lakers in the playoffs. Jamal Murray is going to dominate the Lakers in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They got to figure out what they're going to do about that boy Jamal Murray, man.
And they got to get back to the Joker, too.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
When we get back, we're going to be talking a little more in depth about the Luka trade. He had his debut with the Lakers, and that's pretty exciting. Then we're going to talk about how the Mavericks are falling apart just a little bit after the Luka trade. Mavs fans aren't very happy, but you should be happy, because we will be back after these messages. Stay tuned, folks.
Thinking about remodeling your kitchen or bath? Wayne's Way Wholesale Cabinets has a great selection of all wood cabinets in the styles and colors to make your remodeling dreams come to life. Go to wayneswaycabinets.com for more info. Wayne's Way Cabinets, 1829 South Road, Wappingers Falls. Call 845-280-0880. Stop by and talk to Wayne today. You'll be glad you did. CDS Auto and Truck Repair is your 5-star one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs from A to Z, offering full vehicle diagnostics. Towing is available, and they now offer fleet service. CDS Auto and Truck Repair. Call 845-563-9987. That's 845-563-9987. CDS Auto and Truck Repair, 2917 Route 9W, New Windsor.
Herring Septic wants your crap. Herring Septic loves taking crap from everybody. Herring Septic, they really don't give a crap what other septic companies say, because they know they're full of crap. Herring Septic has been taking crap from everybody for the past 50 years. So why not let them take your crap? We'll take your crap. Herring Septic does it all, from residential, commercial, pumping, installing, and they even rent porta potties for those of you who give a crap. Visit herringseptic.com. That's herringseptic.com if you give a crap.
The Roma Deli, 237 Myers Corners Road, Wappingers Falls, is your neighborhood family-owned and operated deli, offering breakfast, lunch, and catering options. The Roma Deli has brought a little piece of the Bronx to Wappingers, including fresh-made sandwiches, Italian specialties, and desserts, all prepared and cooked in-house with authentic Italian ingredients. Their large menu provides lots of options to personalize your order to your taste. Vegan and vegetarian options available. The Roma Deli, offering catering that is perfect for any party or business function. Go to romadeli1.com or call 845-297-1200.
Michael's Appliances presents Ask Andy, the appliance expert. Andy, we've been talking about suds left over in the wash. What else should we know?
Soap companies do a great job of taking a wild guess at it, and they do a better job at marketing their product to make money. That's what they're doing. They'll tell you that liquids are better than powders. Liquids are much cheaper for them to produce and ship, because they can ship it concentrated, cut it with water at the final mile before they deliver it to the store. And it almost guarantees that you're going to over-soap. Most people don't realize this. It's real simple. Clean doesn't smell. If you put detergent in your washing machine and you wash your clothes, and when you're done and you pull them out of your washer, and you take a handful of that clothing and put it up to your nose and take a sniff, if it smells boutique fresh or whatever lavender scent that they put in the detergent, it's because there's still detergent in your clothing.
Shop with the experts. Nobody knows appliances like Michael's Appliance Center, 585 East Main Street, Middletown. Online at michaelsappliance.com.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Jake's Hot Takes. We're talking a little more basketball. We got Luka had his debut with the Lakers not too long ago. He dropped only 14 points on a couple minutes, but hey, it was pretty fun.
And he played another game on February 12th, where he dropped 16 points, going 6 for 13 from the field and 3 for 8 from 3.
Yeah. I think that Luka does need a little bit of time. He looks good out there. Don't get me wrong. He looks good out there, but it's definitely going to take some time to adjust to the new environment. I think that Luka does not look right in a Lakers jersey. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, he looks a little strange.
He doesn't look
good
good.
in a Lakers jersey.
I always prefer. I mean, I'm sure by the end of the season I'll be like, oh yeah, he looks fine in a Lakers jersey. But it's just the fact that you got to get over that mental image. It's like whenever I picture Luka, I just see him in a Mavericks jersey.
Yeah,
but
I mean, the Lakers won the first game 132-113 against the Jazz, and the second game against the Jazz, they lost 119-131. So coming up, they have a couple easy games. I would say they have the Hornets, and then they have the Trailblazers. Both, I would say they could win. Win both of those games.
They should win both of those games.
And then they have Luka's first real test as a Laker is against the Nuggets in Denver on Saturday.
That'll be exciting.
Yep.
It makes you wonder who the Nuggets are actually going to have guarding Luka. Is the play at that point just kind of let him do whatever he wants and just try and outscore on the other side? Because man, in the short time that Luka has been playing, he looks like he's ready to go. You know, I wonder if the Luka being too fat comments from Nico Harrison are motivating him in the weight room. I mean, I'm sure they are. They awaken a monster. And back to looping around real quick, because this was just a little side that I wanted to mention. In Luka's debut with the Lakers, Dirk Nowitzki was actually in attendance to support Luka. Did you see that?
Yes, I did see that.
Dallas Mavericks legend Dirk Nowitzki, probably the greatest Mavericks player of all time, I would say.
Yeah.
It's either that or Jason Kidd if you're a
Dirk
less intelligent. Yeah. It's definitely Dirk. But yeah, it's cool getting a chance to see older guy show love for a younger guy, because Dirk played with Luka for a little while.
Yeah.
Back then Dirk wasn't exactly Dirk, and Luka was not yet Luka, but they played together. So Dirk definitely has a little bit of that big brother energy going on with Luka. I'm surprised he went all the way out to support him while he's wearing a different jersey, though. I feel like
it's pretty cool. Honestly,
yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
I do think it's cool that their bond does kind of transcend the loyalty that they have to the team. Yep. Might also signify Dirk being frustrated with the Mavericks organization. Definitely wouldn't surprise me. I mean, the trade was just baffling. And I feel like a couple days later, I'm still confused about it. And then now I'm even more confused because of all the Mark Williams stuff that's going on. You heard about all that?
Yeah, I did. I mean, it's kind of crazy that the trade was rescinded after Mark Williams failed the physical.
Yeah.
I bet that kind of makes the locker room a little awkward.
Yeah, I know Dalton Connect's coming back, and things are a little awkward.
But I do like Don Connect. I think when they develop him, he'll be a very good player for them. And he showed flashes.
I like him too, but don't be surprised if he ends up getting traded in the offseason. Don't get, if you're a Lakers fan, don't get too attached to Connect, because they literally just tried to ship him off. And
they did try to ship him off, but that was for a win now move. And now that win now move didn't go through, I really just don't think the Lakers they're trying to win, but the Luka trade was not for this season. They're trying to push all their coins in for the next couple years with Luka and post LeBron. So it's definitely a shame that this Mark Williams trade didn't go through.
Yeah.
But hopefully it doesn't have that big of ramifications on the season.
Yeah, Williams would have been a great piece for the Lakers right now. The Lakers are really lacking size in their backcourt. What's his face? Oh, man. Jackson Hayes. Mm-hmm. Love you to death, Jackson, if you're listening to this, but you're just not going to get it done on the defensive end. Just not big enough. I mean, he's 7 foot and 220 pounds. He's like a twig out there.
Yeah.
Dude's 7 foot and he weighs less than me. I'm 7 foot too, if anyone's wondering, but no. It would have been exactly what the Lakers needed in that situation, but Mark Williams, he violated the terms of the agreement. He didn't pass the physical, and Lakers, the league had to step in and say, get it out of here. So I mean, that's the Mark Williams situation. It just some size, some bulk, some
what
girth
they
would have been
need.
really needed on that
Yeah,
Lakers
that's what they need.
team.
They really have no center, especially after they traded away AD.
Yeah, and I know in this league you don't necessarily need a center. I know Jokic and Embiid are kind of bringing back the let's get a great center mentality, but the league was trending a couple of years ago before the rise of Embiid and Jokic. You know, that era before, in between the dominant centers, teams were playing without a really great center or a really big center. You know, they were okay with having more undersized guys, just kind of having a bunch of forwards out there and being like, all right, let's see what we can get done. So definitely curious to see where this is going to go. Now let's pivot real quick to the Mavericks, because the Mavericks have not been so hot since they traded.
Not.
I mean, the franchise, the fan base is in peril right now. And I say peril because I think that Mavericks fans are like, they're dangerous right now. They're so angry. They're so filled with hate.
And they should be. I mean,
they should be.
Nico Harrison looks like an idiot. Everyone said what everyone said when they traded Luka for AD because of they were scared Luka would be injured too much or not conditioned. Everyone thought, well, AD is that, but times 10. He's also injury prone. In his Mavericks debut, he gets injured. And
I saw Nick Wright made a really good point. He said that there are two situations with Luka, both of which the Mavericks should not have traded him. Either A, he made it all NBA and got a scoring championship 5 times while he wasn't even conditioned enough to be playing basketball, or he was that good and he was properly conditioned and he was that young and he got your team to the finals and then you traded him.
Yeah.
Either you weren't using Luka to his full potential and you weren't taking care of him well enough, or you were taking care of him well enough and then you trade him after he gets you to the finals. It doesn't make any sense. And Anthony Davis looked good in his debut with the Mavericks, but then he got hurt.
Yeah. And the thing is that Kyrie also has missed a lot of time this season.
Yeah, and Kyrie wants out.
I'm sure
he requested
does.
a trade before the deadline. After the Luka trade went through, he requested a trade before the deadline. Kyrie is not happy. And we know what happens when Kyrie is not happy.
Yep.
Things get ugly. I mean, you look back to his time in Boston, things got ugly. You look back to his time in Brooklyn. Brooklyn fans probably can't even remember the whole Kyrie era. They're probably trying to push it out of their brain how much this guy came in and just bullied their franchise around. Like, I like Kyrie as a player. I love watching him on the court, but some of his off the court antics, man, I liked the move when they had Luka and they weren't necessarily relying on Kyrie to be the primary scoring option. But now that Kyrie basically is the primary scoring option, it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
I mean, they lost the game after they traded Luka. They lost by 43 points to the Cavaliers. If that's not a bad omen, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I mean, in AD's one game as a Maverick, he played 31 minutes, put up 26 points, was 10 for 18 from the field, 2 for 2 from 3. 16 rebounds, 7 assists, so pretty good stats, but none of those are good if you're not going to stay healthy.
Exactly. I just remember, because I was watching some of the AD debut game, and I actually watched him get hurt. And I just remember thinking to myself, like, oh my God, the Mavericks fans are going to rip Nico Harrison apart. They are going to tear him to shreds, and the media is going to tear him to shreds, and you know what? That's good. They deserve to be torn to shreds right now. Because it was a terrible trade. In no world should you be trading your young star to not only a team that's in the same conference as you, is in direct contention with you. Like, what? Could you imagine if the Mavericks end up seeing the Lakers in the playoffs? How bad that is going to go for the Mavericks?
They're actually going to play in a couple of days from now.
I do know about that. So
expect Luka's usage to go up very much in that game versus his old team.
I'm sure. Dude, don't be surprised if Luka goes off for like 75 points against the Mavericks. Don't be surprised. LeBron's got him on whatever like secret health serum that allows LeBron to be running around like this at 40 years old. Whatever they got Luka on, it's going to turn him into a monster.
Yeah.
The LeBron health juice or something like that. But the Mavericks, it's really not... It's bad right now, but really it's not as bad as it could be. Because at the very least, they do have guys that are stepping up in lieu of Luka being gone. I think Max Christie was a great acquisition for them. He's been having a couple really good games in a row. He scored 20, and then he scored 15 against Sacramento. Spencer Dinwiddie has... he's been all right. He's been putting up a decent amount of points. And then Olivier Maxence Prosper. Wow, what a name. OMP, Big Omp. He also had himself a decent game against the Sacramento Kings. Very low efficiency, but he made all his free throws. So that's something. That's something.
Something I'd be interested in to see if, as time progresses from the Luka trade, if Klay Thompson gets more usage than he's getting. I mean, he's playing from 20 to 30 minutes a game, but he's really not getting that many field goal attempts. He is getting some field goal attempts, but his points are not really showing that.
Yeah.
I mean, on February 2nd, he had a game with 2 points, 12 points after that, 13 points, but then he had a game with 25 points, so he's just wildly inconsistent right now. So I would like to see more from him.
Yeah, definitely. When we get back, we are going to be talking about a little gift basket of fun topics. Instead of one big topic, we're talking about a bunch of little topics. So make sure you stay tuned. It's exciting. It's Jake's Hot Takes. It's fresh. Let's see it. Stay tuned.
Thinking about remodeling your kitchen or bath? Wayne's Way Wholesale Cabinets has a great selection of all wood cabinets in the styles and colors to make your remodeling dreams come to life. Go to wayneswaycabinets.com for more info. Wayne's Way Cabinets, 1829 South Road, Wappingers Falls. Call 845-280-0880. Stop by and talk to Wayne today. You'll be glad you did. CDS Auto and Truck Repair is your 5-star one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs from A to Z, offering full vehicle diagnostics. Towing is available, and they now offer fleet service. CDS Auto and Truck Repair. Call 845-563-9987. That's 845-563-9987. CDS Auto and Truck Repair, 2917 Route 9W, New Windsor.
Herring Septic wants your crap. Herring Septic loves taking crap from everybody. Herring Septic, they really don't give a crap what other septic companies say because they know they're full of crap. Herring Septic has been taking crap from everybody for the past 50 years. So why not let them take your crap? We'll take your crap. Herring Septic does it all, from residential, commercial, pumping, installing, and they even rent porta potties for those of you who give a crap. Visit herringseptic.com. That's herringseptic.com if you give a crap.
The Roma Deli, 237 Myers Corners Road, Wappingers Falls, is your neighborhood family-owned and operated deli, offering breakfast, lunch, and catering options. The Roma Deli has brought a little piece of the Bronx to Wappingers, including fresh-made sandwiches, Italian specialties, and desserts, all prepared and cooked in-house with authentic Italian ingredients. Their large menu provides lots of options to personalize your order to your taste. Vegan and vegetarian options available. The Roma Deli, offering catering that is perfect for any party or business function. Go to romadeli1.com or call 845-297-1200.
Michael's Appliances presents Ask Andy, the appliance expert. Andy, we've been talking about suds left over in the wash. What else should we know?
Soap companies do a great job of taking a wild guess at it, and they do a better job at marketing their product to make money. That's what they're doing. They'll tell you that liquids are better than powders. Liquids are much cheaper for them to produce and ship because they can ship it concentrated, cut it with water at the final mile before they deliver it to the store. And it almost guarantees that you're going to over-soap. Most people don't realize this. It's real simple. Clean doesn't smell. If you put detergent in your washing machine and you wash your clothes, and when you're done and you pull them out of your washer, and you take a handful of that clothing and put it up to your nose and take a sniff, if it smells boutique fresh or whatever lavender scent that they put in the detergent, it's because there's still detergent in your clothing.
Shop with the experts. Nobody knows appliances like Michael's Appliance Center, 585 East Main Street, Middletown. Online at michaelsappliance.com.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Jake and Matt's Grab Bag. Instead of one big topic to finish you guys off for the day, we're going to be having a couple quick conversations about a few little things that have been going around the NFL. First of all, the head coach carousel madness finally comes to an end as the Saints scoop up Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore as their new head coach. I think it is not going to change anything for the Saints.
The Saints, they don't have that much talent on their roster. I mean, they have Alvin Kamara, who's still pretty good, but Derek Carr just does not move the needle. I mean, in this year, when he was playing, he was fine. Like he wasn't necessarily anything too bad, but he wasn't a difference maker for this Saints team at all. And they also tried out Jake Haener once, and that went terribly. They tried out Spencer Rattler. That went terribly.
Awful.
The thing is that the Saints, they're probably going to have Derek Carr again for their head coach, quarterback. So I don't think this really raises the ceiling of the Saints too much.
I just question how the Saints can manage to be so mid in the talent department and be so good at losing money.
Yeah.
This team is dead last in cap space, and their talent does not reflect that. Marshawn Lattimore is gone. Alvin Kamara's on his way out, realistically. I love Kamara. He's only got a couple good years left.
They just extended him.
I know they did, and he's probably going to retire a Saint, but don't be surprised when his production starts falling off. He's been around the league for 8 years now. This is about when we start to see the running back position begin to decline. Chris Olave, I love him. I love watching him, but injuries and this Saints team just baffles me. It's like, how do you manage to lose this much money? Is it like they lost it? Did they misplace it?
They've just been kicking the cap ceiling down the road for the last 5 years, and that's been their method. But now they can't spend anything to get any big free agents, so they just cannot compete in this NFC or really in the NFL. And what they've drawn up is to be mid for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
And it took them forever to fire Dennis Allen. And I think Kellen Moore, at the end of the day, is a good hire for them.
I do, too.
Because I think he's a good coach. He's led some pretty good offenses in the past couple years. So I think he can be a good head coach, but I would not expect any results this upcoming season.
No, and I wouldn't expect any results in the next 5 or 6 upcoming seasons. If you're a Saints fan, it is dark days ahead. If you think there's a light at the end of the tunnel, you are wrong. Anyway, let's pivot real quick to the saddest topic of the day. It makes me cry. It makes me sad. Travis Kelce, after the Super Bowl loss, gave a heartfelt speech to his teammates in the hotel waiting room. It is unclear right now whether or not he will be returning to the Kansas City Chiefs to play the 2025-2026 season. Retirement is considered.
Yeah.
It might be coming to the end of an era in Kansas City. And as a Chiefs fan, that is not something that I'm emotionally equipped to deal with, especially right now. Still a little soft, still a little sore from the Super Bowl loss. I don't know if I could emotionally handle a Travis Kelce retirement right now.
I don't think he's retiring. Personally, I think he's going to go for it for another year, probably.
I don't know. The on-field production this year was just not there. It makes you wonder. It does make you wonder.
Yeah, I guess he hasn't been that productive recently. And this was his least productive season since his third season in the league. So they haven't been able to rely on him in big moments like they used to be able to.
Definitely not.
Even 2 years ago, he was a pretty big part of their offensive engine, and he just isn't that anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't think that Kelce is going to retire. The Chiefs said they're going to give him till mid-March to make his decision. But even then, I don't know if the Chiefs have really planned for life after Kelce yet.
I actually think they have. I think the acquisition of a lot of young receiver talent in the draft via Rashee Rice, via Sky Moore, a couple years ago.
No, he sucks.
No, he's terrible. But it does definitely feel like the Chiefs have been trying to bolster their receiving room just a little bit.
Yeah.
Bringing back Mecole Hardman, I think, is a move that kind of indicates that. Even though he didn't really do a lot, he got hurt like 3 weeks after he got back to Kansas City. Even though they didn't really do a lot, Kelce and, of course, Noah Gray being a part of the thing. Noah Gray is the best backup tight end in the NFL. Debate a wall. That's my hot take, that Noah Gray is the best backup tight end in the NFL. Noah Gray is a phenomenal player, and although he is not as good as prime Kelce, he is absolutely someone that I trust to take over the tight end room in a post-Kelce universe.
What do you think the trade value is for the Chiefs to trade for Brock Bowers?
To trade for Brock Bowers?
To trade for Brock Bowers.
From the Raiders?
From the Raiders.
Dude, Josh Jacobs wouldn't even go to the Chiefs as a free agent. The Chiefs called Josh Jacobs, and he wouldn't even go off a free agency because he hates the Chiefs so much. You think the Raiders would be willing to trade Brock Bowers? I think we would probably have to offer them Patrick Mahomes himself in order for the Raiders to accept that trade.
Would you be okay with the Chiefs sending 2 first-round picks for Brock Bowers?
Absolutely.
You think so? 2 first-round picks?
If the Raiders accepted that trade and Brock Bowers wasn't playing like double agent to sabotage us this season, I would be perfectly fine with that. Because honestly, I would believe it would be a covert operation that Brock Bowers is coming in to sabotage the team before I believe that the Raiders actually traded Brock Bowers to Kansas City.
I mean, Brock Bowers would be pretty much the next Kelce, I feel like, if he was on Kansas City. I don't want to know what Andy Reid would do with him.
On the receiving end, he's definitely... I don't think he necessarily has the smoothness that Kelce does, but he definitely can put up Kelce-level numbers.
Yeah.
It would definitely be something super exciting to see. But
on the same level of the as Kelce retiring, do you think Reid is retiring within the next couple of years?
Well, in the next couple of years, yes, but next season, absolutely not.
Not this season.
Yeah, I think we probably got at least 2 more years out of Andy Reid before we start getting to the point where it's like, all right, any year now, you know? But last piece of big exciting news and the last piece of our little grab bag for you is the Rams came out today and said that they would be willing to trade Matt Stafford for the Giants' 3rd overall pick. I need your opinion right now.
Yeah.
You would do it?
The thing is that I don't think Matt Stafford would move the needle for the Giants at all. So, no, I don't like that move for the Giants.
I actually think that Matt Stafford might... I'm not sure if it's worth the 3rd overall pick, but I think Matt Stafford is a guy that the Giants could benefit from massively right now. The Giants have been in like a quarterback free fall for the last almost 10 years. Since Eli retired, this Giants team has just not been the same. And a guy like Stafford bringing a little bit of veteran experience, settling the nerves a little bit, getting some good, consistent play, I think could really help the Giants in the long term. That being said, definitely not for that 3rd overall pick.
Yeah, it's too much to ask for. I mean, at that point, the Giants could just select a rookie that they can get 15 years out of if he's good.
Exactly. I think maybe even if the Giants were drafting as low as like 7th or 8th overall, I think that the organization should seriously consider it. But 3rd overall is just too high.
No,
if you're not getting
Cam
or Shador, you're at least getting Travis Hunter, who is a generational athletic talent. So definitely a no from me. Rams, but something interesting, last little tidbit is that the Rams said that they're trading Stafford because they're tired of how publicly Stafford and his wife talk about how the Rams organization treats them.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they said. I read that in an article today. Apparently the Rams are fed up with Stafford. But something to consider. Stafford might be on the move. And that is going to do it for this Sunday edition of Jake's Hot Takes. Make sure you tune in next Thursday at noon, same time, same place, on the YouTube, on the radio. So make sure you tune in. It's going to be another great episode. We're going to be talking some more ball. I have been Jake McVey, joined by Matt Galgano, and this has been Jake's Hot Takes. Thank you for joining us. Have a lovely day. Tune in next Thursday at noon. I'm serious, please. Thank you.